Hey, yeah, let's see how you do under pressure. Oh, yeah, I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Okay, hey, yeah, ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra, extra. Work with me, you know that.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Unfortunately, we are doing a post-game show as opposed to the post-game reaction, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys haven't noticed, and if you guys are actually awake at 9:52 p.m. on a Sunday, appreciate you guys for actually tuning in. Absolutely appreciate it. We are going to be diving into Cardinals versus Falcons. And no, I did not make a post-game reaction because I didn't want to, and I actually didn't watch the game live. This is the very first time in a very, very, very long time I actually decided, for my own mental health, to do something with my family, to get out of the whole rut of what this Arizona Cardinals season is. And of course, once I got home and broke away from the things I needed to take care of my personal life, of course, I went back into it, rewatched the game, watched stats, did all these things, looked at what all the other Cardinal fans ended up having to say. But I feel like it was very important for me to take a little step back and really kind of figure out where in the living hell this organization is going. And ladies and gentlemen, right now, if you don't have the answer, hell, I don't have it either. I really don't. This Arizona Cardinals organization is going nowhere fast. And if you guys haven't been keeping up with all the reports that, obviously we're putting on the channel, or if you're not following me on any other social platforms like X and Twitter, or you just don't want any Cardinal news in general, there's been a influx of multiple different reports about the Cardinals are going to do this or the Cardinals are going to do that. The latest one that ended up coming out was obviously with Ian Rappaport coming out saying that it's all going to come down to Michael Bidwell at the end of the day, right? Michael Bidwell is going to be the sole decision maker of what is going to happen at the end of the year. Now, there's some Cardinal fans that are really worried about the injuries that are piling up, and every single week, ladies and gentlemen, there's been more and more and more of a pileup of just these injuries, and big key injuries, ladies and gentlemen. Not just, a fourth string guy. No, these are starters that are most likely going to be missing some time in 2026. Yes, you heard this right, 2026. So it's an accumulation of a lot of different things, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't know really where I have my headspace when it comes down to this team, but this is probably one of the worst seasons I've actually experienced in a very long time. One of the worst seasons I've experienced in a very long time. This is worse than 2022. This is worse than 2023. This is one of the worst. Injury expectations all the way up here, and the Cardinals have came crashing and burning, and there's really no savior. It doesn't seem like there's any end in sight, unfortunately, with all the reports coming out. So what we're going to be diving into today, obviously Cardinals versus Falcons, but I kind of really want to talk about the future. Like where do we go, right? If you guys do not know, Sunday Night Football did take place. The Patriots did overtake the Ravens. Lamar Jackson ended up getting hurt, and I don't think he ended up returning in that game. Like I said, I've been kind of tuned out this whole day with football. I'm usually like immersed with football all Sunday long, but I think it was kind of important for me to take a step back today. But the Patriots ended up beating the Ravens. With that move alone, the Cardinals were sitting at the 6th overall pick before that game started. After that game started and the Patriots ended up taking care of business, the Cardinals are now slotted at the 5th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. We are currently tied with the Jets. They're sitting at the 4th overall pick. And then we got the Browns that are sitting at the 3rd overall pick, but they all have a 3-12 record. But it all really depends on strength of schedule. Cardinals have the highest strength of schedule, so we're sitting at the 5th overall pick. And then we did kind of leapfrog the Tennessee Titans. Vegas is also sitting at the second overall, and then you got the number one with the Giants. Is Vegas going to win? I don't know. I don't know. Is the Giants going to win? I don't know. But we're going to basically find out these next 2 weeks where the Cardinals end up standing. There's no hope in there's no hope in hell that the Cardinals are going to beat Cincinnati in Cincinnati. They're not. Jacoby Brissett is obviously taking a turn for the worse. He has not looked too great. If I'm going to be real with you, but this whole team in general has not looked too great, right? So I'm not going to put this on the shoulders of a guy making $7-8 million that's a journeyman backup quarterback. Although, yes, I will say he's not looked the best in these past few weeks. There's a lot of things that are kind of piling on top of this SHIT show of a season, which is the 2025 Arizona Cardinals, unfortunately. So for the people that are just joining in, yes, the Cardinals are now sitting at the 5th overall pick in the 2026 NFL draft, and I get it. There's some people out there that don't want me to talk about loser talk. That's loser talk, Mike. Why are we talking about the draft? Well, because we're losers. That's why. We're losers. We're losers. We are fans of a losing organization. That's why. The Arizona Cardinals are losers. That's why we're talking about the draft. It's point and simple, ladies and gentlemen. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm sorry if you don't want to talk about the Cardinals need to continue to lose, but they got to. As of right now, if you want to have a sliver of chance and hope the Cardinals have a little bit of a future, you got to lose out the remaining of the games. You got to lose against Cincinnati. You got to lose against the Rams. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I've said it before on this channel. I hate the losing culture. I don't want my team to lose. No, I hate that. No, F that. That's all thrown out the window this year because we got a lot of question marks, and it's all surrounding the quarterback position and this coaching staff that might come back due to monetary reasons, and they probably shouldn't be coming back. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. The Arizona Cardinals are sitting at the 5th overall pick, and they end up taking a 7 straight L against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, this game started off pretty solidly, right? The Cardinals move up the field, score 3 points on the Falcons. Things were looking good. And then we scored a touchdown. And that touchdown, oh man, Michael Wilson, ladies and gentlemen. Can we talk about Michael Wilson? Now, yes, Michael Wilson only had a certain amount of targets and a certain amount of receptions, but can we talk about that catch that ended up happening in the end zone? Michael Wilson right now is the bona fide number one wide receiver, and it's not even close. It's not even close right now, ladies and gentlemen. He absolutely deserves in 2026 to be that number one X wide receiver. Make a game plan around him. I'm sorry, Marvin Harrison Jr., but you're not cutting the cheese. I'm not going to come out here and say I'm going to trade you. If the Cardinals decided to do that, I don't blame them, but I'm not coming out here saying we need to trade you. But at the end of the day, what Michael Wilson has shown in this small sample size, now, of course, we would have wanted much more of a production this game, but that touchdown alone was very, very good. And keep in mind, I know we're taking very, very solace on these little victories that we have, but let me just take this little victory, okay? Let me take a little quick victory lap. Great catch. They originally ruled it as an incomplete, but they challenged it and ended up becoming a touchdown for Michael Wilson. A very, very good catch by Michael Wilson. He ended up finishing off this game with, like I said, not a very, very good statistical game, right? He ended up finishing off this game with 2 receptions, 52 yards, and 1 touchdown. That's it. Elijah Higgins was the best yardage pass catcher. Yeah, Elijah Higgins, 7 receptions, 91 yards. Trey McBride was held down to 4 receptions, 27 yards. Not very good. Marvin Harrison Jr., our 4th overall pick, 1 reception, 14 yards. Yikes. We've been caught so many times, and I'm not going to act like I'm absolved of this, ladies and gentlemen, because I am. I'm absolved of guilt as well for accepting the fact that it had to be Marvin Harrison Jr. with the 4th overall pick. To be real with you, if the evaluation process actually happened, or if Monty Austin-Fort was truly a really good evaluator, he probably would have chosen Malik over Marvin Harrison Jr. But because of the name, because of the loud noise that the Arizona Cardinal fans made, saying that's a can't miss prospect. You got to go that route. They might have buckled, or they might have thought the same thing we thought. I mean, the whole NFL was duped. Marvin Harrison Jr. right now is having a very mediocre, maybe even subpar mediocre second year. His rookie year was decent, right? It was okay, right? It's not Malik Neighbors' numbers, not BTJ's numbers. Now, of course, BTJ did take a little bit of a regression. I will say that. But this year for Marvin Harrison Jr., he's still struggling with the things he's been struggling in his rookie year. Why then the living hell is he always jumping? Why is this man always jumping? Why? Why are you jumping so much? Catch the damn ball with your hands, Marvin Harrison Jr. One reception, 14 yards, and that's it. Insane, right? Insane. Let's take a look at some targets because, like I said, there's definitely a lot of blame to go around when it comes down to every which direction. But I don't understand. I really don't. How do you only target Michael Wilson 3 times? How? How do you only target Michael Wilson 3 times? That touchdown alone was enough to maybe force feed him somewhere, right? Even Marvin Harrison Jr. with 1 reception was only targeted 3 times. Trey McBride, 8 targets, only brought in 4. Bates over there was wreaking havoc on Trey McBride. But I will give it to Trey McBride. He's had really great games, beast games. So I'm not going to come out here and say, oh, man, I'm down. Of course, you're not down to McBride. He's our best pass catcher right now on this team. It's okay. It's fine. He had a not great game. It's going to happen. But, man, where the hell is Michael Wilson? What was the game plan here? I guess the game plan was let's run the ball. Michael Carter probably had the best game in a very, very long time in the run. 11 carries, 65 yards. Corey Kiner, 6 carries, 32 yards. Imari DiMercado, 5 carries, 30 yards. We actually had 132 yards this game. Surprising. Very, very surprising. So, overall, the Arizona Cardinals did what they always do, right? Chad Ryland missed a kick here and there. And they had an opportunity to tie in the last drive. And guess what? Interception. 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 It's a tale of multiple. It's always happening. The Cardinals can't seem to get out of their own way. They can't. And we got to address the elephant in the room, ladies and gentlemen. Jacoby Brissett has taken a regression back. He has. I don't know what the game plan today was. I really don't. Michael Wilson, short of that spectacular catch, there was not really a big impact. Marvin Harrison Jr., 1 catch is crazy. Trey McBride, 4 catches is crazy. Like, I don't get what the game plan was in this game. I really don't. But like I expected, there was a lot of empty seats in State Farm Stadium today. Not enough. Okay, let me rephrase this. I would like more Cardinal fans to make a stand today. I mean, it wasn't completely empty. I'm talking about the stadium, but there was a lot of empty seats. The top bowl back there, it was ghost town. And if you really zoom in a lot of these pictures and people saying, oh, it's not full or it's not empty, it's definitely not full. I mean, I probably would say it was maybe 45% full, 40% full. And that's including some Atlanta Falcons fans that were there that probably are transplants and live here now. But this organization, like I said, it is going nowhere fast really, really quickly. Jacoby Brissett ended up finishing off this game 16 out of 31, 203 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And that interception came in that last drive when he was throwing the ball to Michael Wilson and made a really good jump, their cornerback over there in the Falcons. The Kirk Cousins had a solid game. It was okay, right? 21 of 35, 197, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was sacked once. Jacoby was sacked twice. Bijan Robinson, 16 carries, 76 yards. Tyler Algier, 16 carries, 79 yards. It's just, I feel like this team did whatever the hell they wanted. Bijan Robinson, he did whatever the hell he wanted. And that's not to mention, we had so many injuries, ladies and gentlemen. So many injuries in this game. Josh Sweat going down, Garrett Williams going down, Walter Nolan going down. When is enough enough? When what did we do wrong? Like, what happened? Like, what's going on? Why are we dealing with this every single week? There's something bad. Walter Nolan's injury looked bad. Garrett Williams' injury looked bad. I don't know where we go from here. You look at this roster, ladies and gentlemen, we got hole. We got holes for days on this roster. Nobody can stay healthy on this team. It's crazy, man. It really is. You hate to see it. Buda Baker got hurt. I believe he came back, but dealing with some stuff. Dater and Taylor Demerson also got hurt as well. It just was an accumulation of injury after injury after injury. When does it end? 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. 2 weeks. That's it. 2 weeks from now, ladies and gentlemen, we get the saving grace of thank God 2025 is over. Thank God 2025 is over. I'm not even sure if it's going to be a thank God because let's be real. With the reports coming out here saying that Jonathan Gannon might come back because of all the injuries we're sustaining, right? Because of all the injuries that we're sustaining, he might come back. That's crazy to me as well. Like, I don't understand it. I really don't. I don't care if I'm wrong. I don't. Jonathan Gannon should not come back in 2026. He shouldn't. If he comes back, all right. I'll sit back and I'll watch the train wreck unfold. It's the only thing I can do as a Cardinal fan. I do not think he is in the right position to succeed. Let's be real. You're going to put a quote unquote contingent. You need to win a playoff game, Jonathan Gannon, to keep your job. Well, guess what? You don't have Walter Nolan to start the season. Maybe not Josh Sweat. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Garrett Williams' injury looked really bad. We have so much unknown at quarterback right now. And you want to run it back because you think injuries is what derailed this team? I mean, hell, the Titans derailed this damn team. The Titans derailed this team. But I digress. This is all going to come down to what is Michael Bidwell going to decide to do. He has, unfortunately, our future lies in the hands of the Bidwells. Again, I don't trust Monty. I really don't. I don't trust JG. I really don't. I'm not trying to live in another world where we're sitting here in the end of 2026 saying, okay, well, what now? But that seems to be the repetitiveness of what's going on being a Cardinal fan. It's the same thing over and over again. Literally, it's Groundhog's Day. Kyler Murray most likely will not be a quarterback for the Cardinals in 2026. The Cardinals made their decision, and it seemed like the okay was given by Bidwell to go the Jacoby Brissett route. Now, I don't think anybody suspected this Jacoby Brissett slight little era to go as bad as it did. But there's only so many punches you can take. There's only so many beatdowns. There's only so many heartbreaking losses you can take and injuries you can take and sustain without things absolutely coming crashing down. There's only so many things you can take. Would Kyler Murray win you more games than 3 games? Yeah, he could have. Yeah, he could have. Absolutely. Kyler Murray would have won you more games. Absolutely. But let's be real, ladies and gentlemen. It was time. It was time. I don't fault the Cardinals one bit for moving off. I just wish they had a succession plan. I just wish they thought about a year or two in the future. That's my only knock on this regime. Well, pertaining to this situation, right? I have a lot of knocks on this regime. A lot of qualms. I have a lot of issues with this regime. But what I'm saying is I would have truly backed these guys more if they had a succession plan. They didn't. They absolutely didn't. They whiffed. They failed. They backed Kyler Murray all the way down to year 3, and there's no succession plan. What worries me is if Monty Ford stays, he's going to have to handle a Kyler Murray trade, and he's going to also have to handle, can we trade up in the draft to potentially get a quarterback of the future? Now, I get it. People are not high on these quarterbacks coming out of this draft. And I'm talking about those Cardinal fans that are like, I want to wait to 2027, right? The Cardinals right now are going to be in a very, very interesting situation. I want a quarterback. I really do. But if the Cardinals want to go a different direction, it's going to kind of keep putting us back in the hole. We're not going to accomplish anything with Jacoby Brissett. Did I want him at one point over Kyler Murray because of how this offense looked? Yeah, I did. And I'm not backing that, or I'm not backing away from what I thought. I still do believe that the Cardinals, it was time to cut ties and kind of move off and let Kyler succeed somewhere else. I'm not running away from it. Does it look a little dumb because I was fighting for Jacoby Brissett to start because his offense looked better and he's regressed? Yeah, it looks a little dumb, but sometimes you need to take a hit to make yourself in prime position to get a quarterback. The plan is to never pick here again. That's the plan. You do not want to pick in the top 5 in the 2026 NFL draft. Guess what? In the 3 years Monty Ford has been here, this is the second time we're picking in the top 5. And we're most likely going to be picking in the top 5 at the end of the year. Let's be real. We're not going to win in Cincinnati. We're not going to beat the Rams, especially if they want to win that game. We're not going to beat them. This is the second year in a 3-year quote-unquote rebuild that we're going to be picking in the top 5. Do we really have the faith that this guy is going to be able to evaluate the next crop of guys to bring into our roster? Are we really going to trust JG and Drew Petzing or whoever is going to throw at OC to develop a young rookie quarterback? I mean, I don't. But like I said, monetary reasons is really what's going to bring them back. It's not because they truly believe in what this culture has changed. Culture's broken, ladies and gentlemen. You can hear, if you want, you can hear everything you want from these players. These players are still employed by the Arizona Cardinals. They will not say anything negative about Jonathan Gannon. They will not. And that's fine. Keep it in-house. That's okay. I'm not expecting it. But don't be fooled by the idea that, oh, they still love him. Oh, they're bought in. Did you hear what D-Rob said? Don't be fooled by that, ladies and gentlemen, because they are still employed by the Cardinals. They were brought here for a reason. They were brought in this locker room because they were the specific guys that would not go against each other. And so far, they're doing a really good job. But this team has absolutely regressed. The entire team, defensively and offensively, has regressed. Let's be real. And it's not a good feeling at all. At all. We got our first super chat of the night. We got Miles starting off hot with a $10 donation. Woo! Let's get the DJ air horn for my guy Miles here in the chat. Starting it off strong here. Miles saying this: I don't trust this team to draft the quarterback, especially if Gannon returns. Having a rookie quarterback with a coach who could be fired mid-season next year is a definition of dysfunction. That's fair. 100%. This is why I don't get the plan, right? This is why I do not understand the plan. It doesn't make sense to bring them back if you're willing to cut ties with them mid-season. And this is what people are saying, that you have, and I'm talking about Gannon, you can come back, but this is going to be under the contingent that you win a playoff game or you take us to the playoffs. Guys, what? We have unknown at quarterback right now. We don't know what we're doing at quarterback. Can Monty really draft, or are we just too small sample size 3 years in that we don't truly know if he can draft or not? We don't know. We love Walter Nolan when he's healthy. We love Walter Nolan, but he's not even going to be available in the beginning of the year. I don't think. Now, that's only speculation. There's nothing out there saying that he's not, but that's just what I feel. Like, if you get a cart bringing you out, it doesn't feel very good. Same thing with Garrett Williams. I agree. I don't trust these guys either. That's why I'm having a very, very hard time convincing myself that things will be okay. Right? I'm having a hard time convincing myself that things will be okay next year if they bring him back, because I don't think they will. I really don't. But what do? Go after a edge player? Go after an offensive lineman? Now, we don't know if it works, right? But that's the draft. We don't know if they're going to work. Do you trade back and accumulate more draft picks? Well, we saw the draft picks that Monty Austinford has done when he moves back. They haven't really worked out to our favor. Let's be real. I mean, Darius Robinson had his best game. Congratulations, Darius Robinson. Took you about a little under 2 years to kind of have a game like this. And why we're really only talking about him is because he recovered a fumble. Let's be real. But Marvin, big question marks around him. Big question marks around Darius Robinson. Big question marks around Max Melton. Big question marks around, can any of these guys stay healthy? These young crop of guys that are supposed to be the next top tier talent on this roster. Does anybody have the faith that they can actually turn it around? I don't. Now, one thing I will say, and I'm not sure if you guys noticed, one thing I will say is that Ian Rappaport did speak earlier this morning along with Tom Pelissero. He said two things that kind of piqued my interest. Aaron Glenn is not getting fired. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he said Aaron Glenn is not getting fired. He's returning. That's what he said. So, kudos, Aaron Glenn. Let me just double check here and make sure that I think who said, was it Ian Rappaport or Tom Pelissero? 1 second. So it was Aaron Glenn and Mike McDaniel as well, head coach of the of the Dolphins. I think I heard he might be coming back as well. Let me just double check. Like I said, I've been kind of out of sorts when it comes down to football news. This is the first time in a very long time I didn't watch this game. I didn't watch a Cardinal game live. I actually had to kind of catch up because I decided to hang out with the family, right? I wanted to kind of break away from what's going on. But he did speak earlier today, and let me double check here. He says, Andy Reid isn't going anywhere, which I never thought he was going to, but he's not going anywhere. Falcons are going to reevaluate. There is no decision on Kevin Stefanski yet. And I could have sworn I did see somewhere that Aaron Glenn is going to return. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But I could have sworn I saw somewhere out there that Aaron Glenn is going to return. And then Mike McDaniel is going to do the same thing as well. But like I said, correct me if I'm on the chat. What we talked about yesterday on the reports, it definitely felt like even though Ian Rappaport came out, I don't think he truly knows. I don't think he truly knows what the Cardinals are going to do. I think at one point, the Cardinals really did want to give Gannon another opportunity. But, man, 3 wins. Another, 7 game losing streak right now. It's tough. It's a tough sell. It's a tough sell for the fan base right now. It really is. But we'll see. But yes, the Ian Rappaport report that I ended up seeing that we talked about yesterday, when I'm reading this, the article, I don't think he 100% knows, to be real with you. I don't think he 100% knows what's going to happen with Gannon. It's all going to come down to Michael B. What's Michael Bidwell going to decide to do? That's what it's all going to come down to at the end of the day. So, we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. Michael in the chat says, I think Stefanski will get fired on Black Monday. Stefanski's been there for way too long, man. He really has. It is time for the Browns to kind of do away with him, to be real with you. Right now, the Cardinals are sitting at the 5th overall pick. For the new people that are just joining in, with the Patriots win over the Ravens, the Cardinals are now moved on over to the 5th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. And everybody has us choosing Spencer Fanu with the 5th overall pick. I get it. We need help. But, man, Dante Moore looked pretty good yesterday. Ty Simpson had a bounce-back game. And we're actually going to see Ty Simpson versus Fernando Mendoza, which actually I'm pretty excited about that. I'm actually pretty darn excited about that. We'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. Pete in the chat says, did they say whether it was Walter's Achilles? I think it wasn't it Walter Nolan's, didn't they say it was a knee? Let me see. I think Garrett was Achilles. Let me double check. Let's go on over to the Jonathan Gannon presser. Like I said, if you want anything for Jonathan Gannon, just listen to the first 5 minutes. That's all you need to hear, man. Anything else is rubbish at this point, man. Anything else is rubbish at this point. Let's see what Jonathan Gannon had to say. Okay, let's dive into it. He says it in the presser in the first minute. So let's do that. Let's do a real quick sharing on my screen and let's all kind of dive into it together. Let me know if you can hear it.
Okay. On the injury front, Sweaty had an ankle, tried to come back in, couldn't go. Garrett had, I think, an Achilles. Walt had a knee. Yelda had an elbow, but then came back in the game. Buddha.
Sorry, here goes again.
Okay. On the injury front, Sweaty had an ankle, tried to come back in, couldn't go. Garrett had, I think, an Achilles. Walt had a knee. Yelda had an elbow, but then came back in.
So there you go. So Walter Nolan had a knee issue, and Garrett Williams had a Achilles injury. So, yeah, man, it's brutal, man. It really is. It's just year after year, it's just one thing after the next. And the crazy thing is that we're looking at the trajectory of what's happening right now in the NFL, right? There's 4 teams right now. 4 teams right now in the NFL that were either a 3rd in their division or 4th in their division last year, and now are sitting at the number 1 spot in their division right now. 4 teams. You want to give me? You want to tell you who those 4 teams are? So, to me, this is why I'm always like, I hate the term rebuilding, because the Cardinals put themselves in these rebuilds by not doing anything, by the lack of decisions, and by the guys at the top not really doing anything, right? But there's 4 teams, ladies and gentlemen, 4 that were either 3rd or 4th in their division last year that are now number 1 in their division this year. Who are those teams? My guy Gaming already has one of them. Bears. I'll help you. Bears, Jags, Panthers, Patriots. Jaguars last year were 3rd in their division, 4-13. They're now 11-4. Bears, 4th in their division. They were 5-12. They're now 11-4. Panthers, they were 3rd in their division last year. They were 5-12. 8-7 now, top of their division. Patriots, 4-13, fourth in their division, 12-3. Jaguars, I think I might have misspoke. Let me rephrase it. Jaguars were third in their division. They were 4-13, and now they're 11-4. If you bring in the right coach, if you bring in the right architect type of guy, you can be from first to last type of team. You can be. It's just the decision making of Monty and JG, they've been lackluster, man. Let's be real. Let's call it like it is. It's been lackluster decisions. They're not really doing anything. They're not really doing anything at all. At all. They're not doing anything. The run game has been very bad from the beginning. Did the Cardinals make a decision and pull the plug on Kyler? They did. But honestly, that's not a decision I'm really mad at. Like I said, from last year, I was talking about it might be time to kind of move off of Kyler. But this is my fault, right? I'm not upset that we're here. I'm upset that we don't have a future. That's where I'm mainly upset about. And if you sit back and say, well, we do got a future with a fifth overall pick. Well, I mean, if Monty Ossenford are making these picks, am I really am I really happy about that? Probably not. Probably not. But I'm more upset that we don't have a future. Like, do I see Monty Ossenford selling picks and moving to the first overall pick to get Fernando Mendoza? I mean, in my dreams, I do. And in real world, probably not. He might go after Spencer Fanu, which I guess is okay, but you can go after somebody in free agency. You can get a right tackle in free agency if obviously they don't go back to the respective team. You can go somebody after free agency and keep building the draft, second round, third round. There's going to be guys in the second, third round as well. John Gaines has looked pretty solid. Isaiah Adams has not been too great, but if that's what we have, we got Paris for at least for another year. We get that right tackle in free agency, and then we maybe get a guard somewhere in the draft. Hopefully he works out. But I don't know if I trust him, man. I don't know if I trust Monty Ossenford. Miles in the chat says, I don't understand why the Cardinals would be so confident in Kyler to retain him, then quick to pull the plug after 5 weeks. Nothing makes sense, man. Nothing makes sense. That's what I'm saying. Like, we all told ourselves for weeks and months that the moves that are being made is because these are not the guys of Monty, right? Monty didn't pick these guys. We said that to ourselves all the time. Isaiah Simmons got traded away. D-Hop flat out got released. In year one, Byron Murphy wasn't picked up. Zach Allen wasn't picked up, right? Either they decided to move on or the Cardinals didn't want to bring them in. Regardless, these are players that are really good players that are serviceable players on other teams. The Cardinals decided to say, no, we're good, right? But I agree. It's weird. It really is weird. Why wasn't there not a succession plan? If you were really willing to give up on him after 5 weeks and pull the plug, why didn't you draft somebody? Hell, Shador Sanders would have been a nice pick in the third round. Bring somebody in, right? Like, I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. Did Kyler Murray just sustain a foot injury? I do believe he did. I do believe he sustained a foot injury. But do I believe it kept him out this long? No. The Cardinals made a decision. The Cardinals said, we're good. We're moving off. And of course, they got the okay by Bidwell. They wouldn't have done this move if Bidwell didn't okay it. I promise you that. He's still on the hook for a lot of money. And that's why there's some people out there that don't believe he's actually going to get traded. That maybe he just might get released, which is crazy as well, right? That's a completely different topic for a different day. And then we're trusting Monty Ossenford to trade him when he can't really trade anybody. We don't get value back from Monty at all. Like, this is a very, very important offseason, and every offseason is important. I feel like I catch myself every single offseason saying this is one of the most important off seasons, ladies and gentlemen, but this one might truly be it. Where do you move off of a guy that you potentially can get a mid-round pick for? Or if you play your cards right, maybe a high-round pick. You never know. You never know. But Tua might be available. Anybody see that? There's people out there saying, oh, the Cardinals might flat out cut Kyler because there's nobody wants that contract. But then people on the other side are saying, well, Tua definitely is going to get traded. What? Kyler's better than Tua. And B, Tua's contract is worse than Kyler's. There's only 1 year of guaranteed salary left for Kyler. One. And yes, is it a big hit? It is. But Tua is worse as a player, and his contract is worse. You're telling me we can't trade Kyler? Well, that's probably what maybe Monty Ossenford is feeding these big time reporters that, oh, maybe we just can't do it. It's too big. Come on. I swear, if we don't get any value back from Kyler, I don't get it. It makes no sense to me. Like, some things just don't make sense. And this is one of those things that does not make sense. They both have their limitations. Kyler's got his limitations. Tua's got his limitations. But Kyler's a better quarterback than Tua. Don't sit here and try to sell me on a segment that, oh, man, Miami's willing to move off of him. And Ian Rappaport said that. Ian Rappaport said that they are going to move off of Tua Tagovailoa. Didn't they just give him a contract? Didn't they just give Tua a contract? They just did it. An extension. And no, I don't want Tua. Whoever's saying anything on this, no, I don't want Tua. But the realistic nature here that we're living in right now, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not find a trade partner for Kyler Murray, you failed. As a general manager, you failed. You failed. You're going to have to find a way to trade Kyler and bring back value to this team. I don't care how you do it. You're going to have to find a way. For the people just joining in, ladies and gentlemen, the Arizona Cardinals right now are currently on a 7-game losing streak, potentially 9-game losing streak because we got Cincinnati. In Cincinnati, the Bengals absolutely look like they're on another level with crazy amount of weapons. T. Higgins, Chase, and their running back, was it Chase Brown, right? Is that his name? Brown. Really good running back. Their defense isn't the greatest, but if we're going to go in a shootout with them, we're not going to win. We're not going to win a shootout with the Browns. I'm sorry, the Browns. The Bengals. Sorry, it's late. The Bengals. We're not going to win a shootout with the Bengals. And if the Rams need to win that game at the end, we're going to lose 9 straight. Call it like it is. The future is very, very bleak on this organization right now. Very bleak. And I'm going to be real. It all starts from the guys at the top. Monty Ossenfort has not given me in 3 years the warm and fuzzies that he's going to be able to get the guy. Because, although yes, including me, I could be very well be wrong, but including me, we all wanted Marvin. Tank for Marvin. It's written in the stores, we said. And yes, I'm including myself in that as well. I'm including that on me as well. Yes, I'm not just blaming people in the chat or Cardinal. No, I'm blaming myself as well, right? It's written in the stars, tank for Marvin, right? And now we're here. And I'm not coming out here saying we got to trade Marvin here. No, I'm not saying that. But let's be real. Marvin now can't stay healthy. And for some reason, he keeps jumping. when a ball's coming to him, this man loves to get off his feet. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't think he understands it. Why? Well, coaching. Is anybody coaching him not to do that? And if they are, can we actually do something to make him not do that? put some glue in his shoes or some damn thing. I don't know. Something. Why is he jumping? Why? Why are you jumping, sir? That needs to get nipped in the butt. And it's not. With this coaching staff, it's not doing it. And yes, the injuries are insane. I agree. Rick and Anderson in the chat says the injuries, and yeah, you're right. The injuries are insane, 100%. Injuries and monetary reasons are the sole reason that if Gannon comes back, that's going to be the sole reason. Injuries and monetary reasons. That's it. It's not because Gannon is a good head coach. It's not because Gannon is a great adjuster, right? Mid-season or game time adjust. No, it's none of that. It's because of monetary reasons and injuries. We're going to throw the season saying it's injuries. That's what we're going to do. It's not like this regime handles injuries very well. Do you remember how that whole debacle of BJ Ojulari ended up happening? It's crazy. They never told us the extent of the injury of BJ Ojulari. Let's not forget that. Oh yeah, and BJ Ojulari got a sack. Kudos. Good for you. It's crazy where we are at right now, man. It really is. It's a crazy state in where we are at right now. Michael in the chat says, how good is the Cardinals training staff? 30 injuries is not normal. I mean, I agree. But I mean, but what do we say? I mean, is it the training staff that I don't know? Is it the turf? Is it the water? Is it like, what is it? Is it the Arizona sun? I don't know what it is. You're right. It's not normal. 100% is not normal. I agree. And I do believe that injuries are a factor. 100%. But the same thing goes with Kyler is the same thing they're going to do with Gannon. The same thing with Kyler is the same thing they're going to do with Gannon. They're going to probably pull the plug when things go bad. And that's going to be another wasted season. Well, if you're willing to let go Gannon midway through the season, or with the contingent that you need to make a playoff run or a playoff appearance or a playoff win, whatever that is, playoff whatever. If that's the contingent, with all these injuries, with the unknown at quarterback, seriously? Well, you might as well just start over. Why waste another year? It doesn't make sense. The Lord in the chat says, I find it funny that Keim and Cliff build a roster better than Monty and JG. You know the crazy thing? I spent a very, very long time trying to get Keim out of this office. A very, very long time. Trying to get Keim out of this office. And Cliff. And I'm not going to say but I was talking about it's time to move off of Kyler. Right? Here's the crazy thing. With all these things that I feel like need to happen with this organization, I think it's something that I need to step back and say, do I really trust this organization to actually make the right damn decision? And the answer is no. It really isn't. I mean, 3 years of Monty, I really don't trust him. I'm going to be real with you. JG, same thing. I don't trust him. Michael Bidwell, no. So going back to these guys that I'm like, oh, well, they got to get rid of them, right? Or it's time to move off. I got to really sit back and evaluate. Like, do we really trust these guys to be like decision makers? Because I guess regardless of what situation is, we're probably going to be back at the same Groundhog's Day in 2 or 3 years from now. With the thoughts and prayers that, hey, we believed in you, man. We believed in the process. Because, yeah, you can't sit there and say that the Cardinals fans weren't patient. You can't sit here and say the Cardinals fans weren't patient. They were. I mean, some were a lot more patient than others, right? Obviously, more patient than me. I'm not very patient because I see organizations that do what I talked about a little earlier, right? I see organizations like the Jags last year were third in their division, 4-13. Now they're 11-4 within 1 year. Brand new head coach. I see things like the Bears. They were fourth in their division, 5-12 with the rookie quarterback. They got a new head coach, 11-4. Last year, the Panthers were third in their division, 5-12. They're now 8-7, first in their division right now. Pats, 4-13, got a new head coach, 12-3. And the Seahawks, they're never rebuilding like we are. Never, ever. They don't rebuild like us. And that's so frustrating to see. Regardless if it's Geno or Sam Darnold, they don't go through what we go through. And it's frustrating. It really is. You thought moving off of Russell Wilson would put him in the dumps. Nope. It just keeps giving him more winning seasons. That's all it does. So, yes, I do believe that it's time to move off of Kyler. I do. But on the other side of the coin, do I trust that these guys are going to put the next or draft the best quarterback? Like, I don't. Honestly, no. No. But it's time. I mean, you can't keep riding with Kyler. If they decide to do it, I would be shocked if Kyler wants to suit up back in an Arizona Cardinal uniform. I would be shocked. If he does, well, damn. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. And I've been wrong from the beginning of the season. If he comes back in a Cardinal uniform. But like I said, what the Cardinals should have done is create a succession plan in a world without Kyler. And they just don't do it. They don't do it. They don't figure out issues until they're right there at their doorstep. And guess what? We got an issue with our star pass rusher. We got an issue with our young defensive lineman that we just drafted this year. We got an issue with arguably our best cornerback in Garrett Williams. We got an issue at quarterback. O-line needs a revamp. Unknown with the middle linebacking core opposite side of Mac Wilson Sr. Buda Baker is getting older. Are we bringing back Jalen Thompson? So the safety core. Look at all these problems. All these problems that I just listed off. 7 problems. Insane, man. It's insane. And it's all due to lack of run game. It's all due to the regression of the offensive line and injuries. And injuries are a big deal. And the defense have not really met. The expectations of the defense was supposed to be much higher. And they really haven't given us what we thought they were going to be. Let's call it like it is. They're not. This division is so damn tough. So tough. And if you slip up by making 1 or 2 mistakes, this division will make you pay. And they'll put you in your knees and they'll keep you there if you let it. And unfortunately, the Arizona Cardinals don't have a real leader that can get us out of it. JG said it best. He didn't hire himself. He's not going to fire himself. That's up to Michael Bidwell. Is he going to do it? Or is he going to put us through another year and pull the plug on Gannon? Midway through the season, calling it another wasted year. Well, if you're a season ticket holder, if there's any more season ticket holders out there that are on this channel, or channel members, or subscribed, or whatever the situation is, please, this is the time to start banding together. Right here. This is the time to band together. Do not renew your season tickets. I would love to say stop showing up to Cardinal games. I would love to say that, but this was the last game of the season. What are we going to do now? 2 away games. What's it going to do? Nothing. But strongly consider reamping or renewing your season tickets. You do whatever what you want with your money. It's your money. You want to use it? That's fine. But I did hear that the price went up. I did hear that season tickets went up for some reason. Fourth straight losing season. Let's re-up. Let's make those tickets a lot more expensive. I don't get it, but I'm not a billionaire, so I guess it doesn't make sense. Let's keep it with the chat. We got my guy RWH. What's up, man? One thing we can all agree on is that Mike have a long card to sit at the NFC West roundtable with the 49ers, Rums, and Seahawks folks every week. Wow. Well, yeah, I mean, I love it. I'm never going to shy away, unfortunately. Some people want me to talk my SHIT, specifically in the beginning part of the season. I wanted to let it play out. And if we were going to be as good as I thought we were going to be, of course, I would puff my chest out. But there's nothing to puff your chest out, man. This team is what it is, man. This team isn't good. It's not good. It's not good. Let's keep reading the chat. We got my guy in the chat saying drafting is pathetic. How many great players we could have drafted? Can you imagine Cooper DeJean? Well, not just that. Will Anderson Jr. Hell, I was a big fan of James Pierce Jr. I was a big fan of Jalen Walker as well. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and say Walter Nolan was a bad pick. But right now, as a rookie, James Pierce Jr., which is on top of my list, has 8.5 sacks right now. Who on the Arizona Cardinals has 8.5 sacks other than Josh Sweat? Who? Calais Campbell, maybe? Calais? Let me actually look it up. Because right now, Josh Sweat has 11 sacks. And Calais Campbell. 5 sacks is the next one. D-Rob has 1. Jalen Thompson. Yeah, I'm not even going to read the rest of the list. It's crazy. Josh Sweat, 11 sacks. Calais Campbell, 5.5 sacks. Baron Browning, which we extended, 2 sacks. Walter Nolan, 2 sacks. It's crazy. Wow. And we don't even know if Josh Sweat is going to be available in the beginning of the next year. We don't know, man. We don't know. Oh. 12-5 next year. Well, come August, come July of this next year, we're going to be like, oh, man, training camp, man. Did you see that catch in training camp? Yikes. Oh. I don't know where we go from here, guys. I really don't. I wish I can give you the secret sauce of what I think. But with what I want to happen, the one thing I want to happen for this organization does 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 things that I did not want them to do. So it kind of negates what I wanted them to do in the beginning, right? So like perfect example, Kyler, right? Okay, it's time to move off of Kyler, right? Okay, they finally did it. Cool, you got the okay. But there's no plan. There's no plan. There's no plan opposite side of Josh Sweat. There's no plan at running back. Is James Conner coming back? Could Trey Benson stay healthy? Wide receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr. And I'm gonna be real. I wanted Marvin too. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like, oh, I didn't want Marvin. I wanted Malik. No, I wanted Marvin. I did. But now we don't know if this man can't stop jumping. Freaking kangaroo. Stop jumping. Stop jumping. Sweep everything holding up. Stop jumping and catch the freaking ball. But both those two wide receivers get targeted 3 times. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. It's so wild. It's so wild what we're seeing right now. Edgar says this team gives you nightmares. Sheesh. I'm just delaying the inevitable. I'm going to be going to sleep here pretty soon. I'm going to be getting those damn nightmares coming right back. I'm just delaying the inevitable right now. That's all I'm doing. Rick in the chat says it wasn't our year. No doubt. Yeah, of course it wasn't our year. We suck. We're terrible. This is a losing franchise, and we kumbaya together, and the only thing we can hope for is the Cardinals make a decision that completely revamps everything, right? Like the Jags did last year, like the Bears did last year, like the Panthers and the Patriots did last year. It's the only thing we can hope for. That's it. Because for the one thing that I want the Cardinals to do, might be a year or two late, they do 2 or 3 other things that you just is the opposite of what you want, and they think they're smart. They think they're the smartest mans in the room, man. I don't get it, man. I don't understand. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a mystery to me. It's a mystery to me too. I don't get it, man. I really don't understand it. This whole situation is just absolutely effed. Absolutely effed, man. Cardinals don't really have a real leader to get us out of this mess either. And that's the worst part of the situation. They don't really have anybody to get us out of it. That's the worst part of the situation. But here we go. All right. We had a consistent over 80 plus people up in this YouTube chat. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Can you do me a huge favor? Can you smack the like button, please? Don't do it for the Cardinals. For some reason, people think I work for the Cardinals. I don't. I'm just a stupid, idiotic, stupid person that was born in Phoenix, Arizona, that loves the underdog story and loves the Arizona Cardinals for some stupid, idiotic reason. Can you smack the like button? I don't work for the Cardinals, ladies and gentlemen. I don't. Smack the like button on your way out. If you could do me that huge favor. We're going to be closing up shop right here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I know it's late. It's about to be 11 o'clock. But we'll be closing up shop right here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. You guys are all amazing for being here and just listening and just kind of, I guess, where we are at right now, the state of the Cardinals. If you guys did not know, the Cardinals right now are sitting at the 5th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. For what it's worth, yes, we were sitting at the 6th overall pick. Now, with the Patriots beating the Ravens, the Cardinals now slot on over to the 5th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. So, with that being said, we'll be closing up shop right here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Cardinals, obviously, they can't do anything under pressure, right? So, with that being said, let's close up shop right here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Smack the like button on your way out. Subscribe on the road to 19K. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your night, as always. Go Cardinals. Later.